Okay. Then Liquid versus Nigma. Game 3. Well,
probably overall is Doom, but I don't actually know if I
Game 3
like.
You didn't like it though.
Yeah, well, here it is.
Why
So
don't you like it?
So my main concern is if
Spirit,
you're running
Storm,
Doom here and
Keeper.
Storm, that if the lanes don't go too well, that you're kind of stuck in this we do nothing for 10 minutes stage. And that's kind of what happened last game when the Elk lost its lane. And I know that that isn't necessarily going to happen again and that Nigma did make it competitive. But honestly, that previous game was a little bit of both teams they were both responsible for that game getting as close as it was after 10 minutes. I think that was a very clear Liquid lead, and they dropped the ball a couple of times.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So Phantom's Embrace, pretty annoying for Ember.
Doom is very good to put
Double
Inkswell on. Double Doom with the Soulbind, double Vortex, double Solar Bind.
Soulbind in general for the Marcy.
Yeah.
And the Ember, very strong.
It's interesting, and I think Grimstroke is also a much better hero now than it was earlier in the year. It's been buffed a couple of times, and other heroes have been nerfed, so I don't mind this pick. The problem is...
It does feel a little risky, though, doesn't it?
You don't know your matchup. So if you're playing Doom Grimstroke, but the enemy team just picks a hero that deals well with this type of lane, then if you can't truly run it over, are you getting enough value out of this is the question. Let's see it. It definitely... They've got liquid thinking, if nothing else. This is not an easy pick to make. Carries that are usually popular against Doom specifically, it would be something like Wraith King, Medusa.
Monkey King it is. So it's still a lot of flex, because... Can you play Ember anywhere but mid?
You shouldn't with Nisha in your team.
I guess that's a good point.
Just put Nisha on the Ember.
Okay, so the 1, 2, and 3 are pretty... I mean, how often do we see Marcy as the 1? Almost never.
It could be the 4 for Boxy.
Oh, that's true.
He plays it well.
I mean, even Monkey King has some flex.
Technically, yeah, I think this Monkey is a targeted pick against the Doom for the lane, but this lane is not a free win for Monkey King, in my opinion. I think Monkey Silencer can actually die to Doom Grim. It's a lot of damage. Silencer offers no defensive utility. He just has 1 slow. And silencing these 2 heroes doesn't matter if they've already cast, because they cast all of their spells running in, right? You cast the Ink on Doom, he casts Scorched Earth, and then you do your move. And then if you last word them after that, it doesn't really matter. Like, they've already got their stuff off, they're going to stick. So, I can't say I love it too much. I think this Monkey versus Caudle is a little bit dodgy, actually. You can Blinding Light him out of the ring. You can catch him in the trees, potentially, or find him. Once you get Axe, if Caudle goes that route, that's also good against MK. So I wonder if there was a better choice, but I don't mind the focus on shutting down Doom in lane, of course. You really want to try to take advantage of it. But other heroes can do the same. Like Ursa was available, for example, right? But maybe he also gets punished too hard by Doom Grim. It's a strong lane.
All right, well, they're going to ban some offlaners. NGXR, that is, so... Yep. Still, I mean, how often are you banning a support, even if you have a good feeling that it's going to be a support with all this flex, but...
Yeah.
You still prioritize, unless there's some crazy... I mean, Rasta's still in the pool, for example, you know?
Yeah. Don't think he's that big of a concern in spite of you having Storm. I still think you have decent solutions. I'm mainly curious about what Liquid are thinking for their offlane here, more so than Nigma's carry. I think this pick is really important and really difficult, because all you see is a Caudle. And if you're playing Marcy 4, and now you're last picking a carry, then you have no idea what type of Caudle lane it is. If it's a defensive lane or if it's going to be a spam lane. There are so many different heroes that they could bring out for Ghost. Okay, so they are committing Marcy to core. So it's Marcy 3, Snap 4, I'm assuming. I mean, either way, if those are swapped in priority, they're still laning together. So with this information, what could you run here? You could be tempted to pick Medusa. think maybe it's a bit too greedy though. Medusa Doom Storm Tricore.
Well, Anti-Mage has been banned a lot this tournament, Synderen.
Yeah, maybe something faster. Bristleback carry? Is that a thing here?
What happened to... I thought PL was supposed to be a hero this tournament.
PL is honestly an interesting suggestion, but again, little bit concerned about the pacing here. See, the win rate of Ursa is looking very healthy there, 75%, so he's 9-3. That could also work, technically. Ursa can hold a candle to Marcy in lane, you just fight back, you have Blinding Light.
It kills the creep.
Kills the Dominator creep. Yeah. It's faster. I think it's one of the better ideas so far. We're running out of time.
Yeah, only 5 seconds.
Sven.
Yep, it is. It only took 10 tries, but you got it. They were waiting for you.
Yeah, so the thing that is interesting about Sven here is Warcry armor against Marcy and Monkey King is really valuable, even to an extent against Ember Slight. And you are one of the carries that can kill Marcy, which is has proven to be a challenge as of late in some games. Now in this tournament, Marcy's win rate is actually still not that great, but it still looks like a strong hero, so I want more sample. But yeah, Sven, there's multiple good things about this. He's really good to give Chakra to, so he can get 2 Stormhammers in a fight. He's very good to give Ink to, so now Omar has a different hero to play with. He actually has 3.
Yeah,
all
really
3 cores are amazing to Ink, and he's taking Inkstigate here. I need to remember exactly how this works. This is not too common that I see it. So it's the manual detonation one.
Yeah, it's the part that was usually was part of the skill initially.
Yeah, so you cannot end Ink early unless you take this fast. It has to run full duration, but with this one you can stop it whenever you want. You're definitely taking that when you're playing with Sven, Doom as well as Storm. So yeah, very good pick here. I gotta say, I like what Nigma have got this game a little bit more overall than Liquid, and I also, considering how the previous 2 games went, I do think perhaps a little favored.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
I think it's pretty close, but yeah, I would favor NGX in this game as well. It's weird to say because that would mean Liquid would be dropping to 1 and 2, which...
They've come back from stuff like that before.
True.
Many a time.
But this is a different format than they're used to, for sure, because this has only been a format a couple of times this year.
And this is not Dream League, so they have a chance.
That's true. Dream League is a complete disaster for Liquid for whatever reason. But yeah, this should be an interesting one, and I mean, how late do you think this game goes, based on the lineups?
I think there's...
Because before we went on, just based on how the day is going, this feels like a 60-minute game before the picks came out. Can that still occur?
It absolutely can. I think this is more likely a... a 45-minute game, probably. It's like either Sven really gets there and pops off, or at that range of like 35, 40 minutes, he loses 1 or 2 fights and runs out of steam against this lineup. But there's also the secondary carry of this game. It's a Storm Caudle. Like, you can't forget that Sumail has one of his all-time greats here and can really do work. Because in reality, what do Liquid really have against a Storm BKB this game? I don't really think they have anything.
They have nothing. Well,
they have global post BKB.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. Then you have to kill him during the global. I guess you could pull that off with maybe a bash on Marcy or Monkey King and then some heavy hitting attacks. But I think there's a lot on the line here looking at the mid lane. I think for Liquid this is going to be a stereotypical Nisha Ember performance to make this game simpler for them. And of course, my eyes more so than mid, actually, at second thought, are on top lane. How is Mickey going to do against this Doom Grim? I think this is a really interesting lane to watch because I don't think it's inherently obvious to the teams either when the exact timings are here, when you're strongest, when you rotate, and who wins it on paper if nobody interferes. Doom Grim is nasty. Let's see.
Yeah, it's been a long time for that Grim stroke.
Yeah. I mean, really happy to see Grim stroke play. I think this hero is super entertaining to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Just makes a lot of moments.
And like you said, several Inkswell targets, and it feels like if you can check all the boxes on this hero, it becomes an insane pick. The Phantom's Embrace against the Ember, like we talked about, extremely annoying for Nisha. I think the one thing it's missing, not that they're going to ever get to this point, but the Aghanim Scepter, where it makes a stronger version of another enemy hero. It's not particularly amazing this game.
That's true.
But that would have been icing. It's already good nonetheless.
Yeah.
So Ghost and GH. So how impactful is this combo in terms of getting like the double storm hammer?
It's powerful in the mid game. In this early laning stage, Sven usually doesn't get multiple points in Stormhammer, so here it's not really going to make that big of a difference. But yeah, further down the line could be a big thing in fights. Gonna pull in. They're actually gonna blood grenade him too.
Yeah.
Going for the kill on Ghost.
A lot of damage. A
Boxy's
nice job
eating
from
the
GH,
wave.
though, and this is gonna be first blood to GH.
God, he tanked 4 creeps during that entire engagement. Just the entire wave was just on Boxy's Snapfire when he went for the Shredder. That is very good news in the Nigma camp to get first blood onto GH's Coddle here. He can get boots off of this immediately, and we saw how that mattered in the first game against the Marcy, having the boots Coddle.
Yep.
Could just run it back.
A bit of a misstep from Boxy, which is very rare sight indeed for this series, considering his Tusk performance in game number 2. Saberlight gets to dispose off another little shredder action as Ghost, another blood grenade from Boxy, and this should lead to the kill.
This time I got it.
Second time's a charm for Liquid. As the not the rebound, the cookie rather, onto GH. He's a very fast hero though, and has 10 sticks, so I think he's going to get out. Here the tower is safe, but does take a beating in the meantime.
Trying to get a last second pull here, but nice heads up play from Boxy too. Oh, he still got the half pull beautifully done there. Nice little manipulation with the ranged attack pulling into the tower. This is just a half a wave completely lost for Liquid, no experience gained. And in addition, this will make the wave push, so you get back into a nice equilibrium state outside of your tower. Mid lane, Sumail.
Nice ward as well. That's some good gold.
Yeah, this mid lane is pretty even. I also think this is just a skill-based matchup. Storm against Ember tends to be quite even when the players are comparable in
Sumail.
Skill.
He already popped the Fairy Fire. As Nisha now taking a beating as GH. Little Shredder again reserved for him. So a lot of action in that bot lane.
You got to be careful trying to contest Lotuses against Marcy Snap. Linus. Something else.
When you dispose, when they're in the air, do they count as
Oh,
for
like the Lotus or the Shrine?
I think so. I don't think it has verticality, but
3-minute 3K.
Not certain.
Not noob.
He's left
All alone, and it's going to take a beating now as Nisha kills off Sumail. That's the bigger kill, but either way, Liquid not able to take out Noob in the end. So Nisha did fall to Omar.
Yeah.
Got the most important aspect of the experience.
Yeah, Mickey immediately plays aggressive top because they see Omar TP mid to try to help the Storm against the Snapfire gank. So a cascading effect here of all the lanes effectively being involved in mid. And I think when all that is said and done, the winner is Liquid because the Doom having to do this long walk of shame back to base. He's missing a wave and a half. And this was the lane we were talking about that would get interesting, would be that Monkey King silencer lane, but with this advantage.
And this is the other thing. You leave Saberlight alone. He can actually survive in this 1 versus 2.
Yeah.
Unlike the Doom.
Yeah, and on top of that, Noob has also chosen to skill defensively here. He skilled the Purge, or rather, he skilled Devour to get a Purge.
You see the first Inkswell combo onto Mickey. They get the stun, Illuminate to follow. Mickey not able to get any HP back thanks to the Jingu. GH gets credit for that one. Phantom Embrace, and this is going to be the death of Insania to a neutral creep. Okay then.
That is
Oh,
a very
yeah.
To a neutral creep. Okay, then. HP back thanks to the Jingu. GH gets credit for that one. Phantom Embrace, and this is going to be the death. Sania to a neutral creep. Okay, then.
That is a very good result against and net worth, but not by a significant margin. This, however,
တုံးကမချောပဲနဲ့အဲ့လို
starting
ကြီး
to
ပြန်လာတာ
become
၄
more
ရောက်
of
လောက်
a
ရှိ
problem. It's a good thing for them that GH helped with that gank up top, and now Noob
Level
will be getting
3.
something in the tower.
He needs this badly.
They get the first point Infernal Blade. Usually, side lane Doom you see go 0-1-1, but opted for the early point Devour. Perhaps really wanted this Purge creep against Silencer and against the Monkey King Jingu stacks. Being able to purge offensively onto Monkey King is extremely valuable here.
That's true.
စိတ်ရအောင်နော်အဲ့လိုကြီး
Some
ရတယ်
action here. Inkswell, Insania, to be the recipient of that one.
Level
And
3
Sumail
Yeah.
will snag the kill. Nisha, though, wants some revenge. Gets the Searing Chains. Omar completely out of mana at the moment. Sumail, though, has enough to zip away. But the remnants, brother versus brother. Nisha not able to find the connection.
စိတ်စိုးနဲ့သူ့လူတက်လို့
So still see Omar, but running out of resources here as GH dies again in the bot lane. This is, despite that little flub at the beginning of the game, this is where most of the kills have occurred for Liquid.
Yeah. Marcy, baby. Making the moves. 0 kill, or excuse me.
Oh, they're going to go for it again. Rebound into the scatter blast with a little shredder to minus armor. Ghost going to get some help from Sumail. Saberlight getting slowed to a crawl onto the tower. It's a successful maneuver from Sumail. Going to end up netting a second kill. Will Ghost get it, though, is the question? No.
That is just a fully premeditated bait. It's very clear that they have good communication here. Ghost is telling Sumail, if they go on me, be ready to TP, I'm going to bait. And Liquid, hook, line, and sinker get pulled in there. That's massive to get this double kill onto Sumail here and keep Ghost alive. Sumail is now 1,000 net worth up on Nisha minute 7.
Yeah, but the experience is another story. The Nisha took the Wisdom Shrine from NGX, and you see a double scan come out from Liquid to make sure that nobody was going for theirs, so they can get theirs a little late.
That's 3 games in a row that
again.
Nigma just don't get wisdoms. That's definitely something to work on going ahead in this tournament. It's really, really important to get these 7-minute ones. But yeah, the trade-off in that instance, losing Wisdom Shrine to get 2 kills bottom, I think probably worth it considering who you got down there and who got the kills. But in turn now, it does mean that the supports of Nigma Galaxy need some time. As I say that, Omar is level 5.5 without Wisdom. It was just that 1 kill he got mid on the Ember earlier after Storm died.
Yeah, not too bad.
Probably helps him a lot of the way. It's mainly GH that's a little bit in the dumps, but they're giving him space up top. Get some experience.
3 Sister Shrouds for NGX, by the way.
It's fine.
The creep is stolen. Sumail able to keep his life, though.
3 so far. Doom doesn't have a neutral item yet.
True.
Still make it 4 here. He's going to be able to pick now. What are his options? He's not offered Sister Shroud, so he
That's
can't take.
unfortunate. Omar getting ganked in the meantime. Inkswell does a decent amount to delay this, but the result is still the same in his death. Sumail not going to go to defend, instead going to go for the top as Doom applied to the Monkey King, and now the tree is dropped. This will be the death of Mickey. Nicely done from Sumail.
This is a very, very good start for Nigma Galaxy. And this kill mid, like you said, Grimstroke delayed it, but they also used Unleash. Like, they're using big abilities to just kill this support. If they don't do some meaningful tower damage here, this would have maybe felt like a little bit of a waste of time. And they are getting to work. I don't think they'll get it fully, but pretty close to finishing the mid tower here are Liquid, so
I think they're
they might just get it. Yeah, you're right.
Deny, not going to be there. Boxy gets credit for it, and now GH going to pay the ultimate price for trying to deny it.
Even better.
Insania, Brain Drain.
+1 for the Silencer.
GH is going to be fine, though. He's got a lot of int on that hero.
Yeah.
Brain rot is not a thing for GH, despite Coddle being an old man. You'd think that would, dementia would kick in a little early.
He is really forgetful in the lore, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So there's nothing left to lose.
I guess so. Ghost very low, farming away, but nobody really close to him.
10-minute power rune. Who gets lucky? It will be Nisha grabbing himself a shield rune down bot. I say lucky, they covered both runes, so he was getting it regardless.
How
but
lucky.
Not necessarily the rune you were hoping to see there. I think amp damage right now would be very nice to make an aggressive move onto bot and get the tower, but of course you can also dive with the shield rune. So, looks to be the next play that Liquid are planning here. A big commitment bringing Monkey King down here too. This is effectively 5 heroes in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And Liquid will get this tower, but the read is correct from Nigma Galaxy to not get caught and try to go for a trade of their own up top with Siege Creep. Sumail can do this solo. So probably getting a little bit more efficiency out of the map considering how long Liquid are running around their heroes with here. I say that. He's in base on Sven. Like mid now though. And oh, if he gets caught though, this is good.
Yeah, Mortimer's Kisses beating into him. Ghost in a lot of trouble. Pops the war cry, but that is too much magic damage.
All right, that makes it worth it for Liquid. That is a very good play. They were patient. They were waiting around for somebody to go mid, getting the slight chains into the Kisses. And
but Sania gets solar bound. And Sumail wants to finish the job. The Cookie's going to give a little bit of distance, and now a little bit of trouble now for the side of NGX. Sumail getting low on mana. It's a soul bind, or solar bind this time. Walks in on the Nisha. And unfortunately for NGX, Noob is in the wrong place. Easy kill for Boxley, as that's 5 members of Liquid surrounding him and taking him out.
yeah, both teams in this game are playing very tight. Like the rotations have basically 4 or 5 heroes every time. But the biggest thing in all of this is probably the kill on Sven. That was the big one for Liquid. Try to slow him down.
Liquid have 0 neutral items.
I think that is a great indication that they've been going together too much.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's 12 minutes.
That's crazy, man. What? 12 minutes.
Who has the most mad stones right now?
A Monkey King has 4 now, so he's close to 1. He just killed a camp.
Maybe they'll realize, like, oh, okay, we could get a free item. So NGX with a 2K lead and 5 neutral items more than Liquid. Pretty big advantage, I'd say.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, Ghost. Saberlight's going to be hounding him from the north.
Can solo.
Obviously, Unleash going for the kill. Ghost gets the war cry off. Box is here as well, not needed though. Saberlight destroys him.
Situations like this really highlight, I think, why pro players are banning this hero so much. The win rate doesn't really reflect necessarily how good the hero is. And you just don't want to bother with situations like that where your carry just gets soloed by the offlaner in 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It's very unforgiving just how much damage Marcy does with this Helm of the Dominator tech.
At this stage, when you're getting the neutrals for Liquid, you surely go for the Dormant Curio. We're seeing 1 now. You're not going to get much value out of tier 1s at this stage.
Very true.
They are going to smoke.
Make it with the Echo Saber. So Echo Deso is his plan again.
Again, caught off guard. Mortimer's just too much damage. Starting to rack up the deaths on this Doom. Has the Helm Dom with the drums. As the tomato will be sacrificed as well. Liquid extremely active. You see the net worth still NGX favored.
Yeah, it's a lot of the time this is what's going to happen when even if you make successful moves, you're just bringing so many heroes. So
yeah,
you're not finding the same amount of farm overall. So you're just compensating for lost farm with kill gold. It doesn't really shift the game that much.
Wants the kill onto Sumail. Global Silence disposed to follow. Unleash is doing quite a bit for Searing Chains at the last moment from Nisha was definitely needed. Huge kill for Liquid.
That's a really nice laser kill.
Wukong's command, Noob. Gonna get the Doom off, wants to fight his way through it. Does have to worry about the Jingu. Jingu not gonna heal, obviously, as Ghost comes in and throws a casual Storm Hammer for a kill that he desperately needed.
That's one of those my carry moments right there.
All right, what else is he supposed to do?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Noob is happy that Ghost takes that kill. He has faith in him. Ghost has been here many
I thought you were talking about Monkey King. Okay.
No.
Yeah, what is he supposed to do? Not steal the kill?
စီးဖြူပါတယ်အားရှိစရာကြီးပဲ
1,000 away from Blink Dagger.
Yeah, his game looks fine. Despite those 2 deaths that he just had back to back, he's still looking quite healthy on the net worth. He's staying neck and neck with the Marcy, who's having a very good game. And that's in part the 30 CS differential.
Sumail in trouble again. Rebound with the Searing Chains. Does zip away. They didn't have global silence this time.
He's cocky enough to turn around there for an attack onto me.
Sumail being cocky, you say?
No way. He's mature. He's all grown up now.
No, he is, but you got to keep the cocky mentality in game at least.
Yeah, I suppose.
Otherwise, you cannot strive to be the best.
I think GH would disagree with that.
Yeah. He's an anomaly, though. Let's be clear. Saberlight. So there's Solar Bind and Soul Bind. That's gonna be hard.
At least there's not Solar Guardian too.
True. See if they get Solar Crest.
Yeah, there will be. There's one on Caudle.
Oh God, I just won't say it. Omar will be the recipient of some Mortimers. They're gonna be close to being out of range, but Nisha not able to get any connection on Omar. He's actually going to walk away. Instead, they want the old man on the horse. So GH will be the sacrifice for NGX. And Liquid keeping up the pressure. Now some minus armor on this tower. Is this actually going to be a successful tier 2? Relatively early. Keep the siege. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, good call.
That looked like it had enough HP.
Oh, they still glyphed. Huh. Maybe they thought the Dawn Creep was going to be too big of a problem. I'm not sure if that's the case, but...
Oh, global silence for the mid lane to save Nisha. So defensive global, and that means NGX can group up potentially.
Oh, but he gets doomed on the other side.
Gets it off. Insania is nearby as well. Noob just needs a little bit more damage, but the zip from Sumail should be the end of the Ember. Nisha down and out again as GH and company. Gonna surround Insania. That's gonna be an easy cleanup. And Boxy likely to fall to Sumail, although he is running a bit low on mana at the moment. Gets the last Electric Vortex. Mischance is there with the Sister's Underwear, but does find the kill in the end.
And Sumail doesn't need to go back. He's playing with Caudle, so he's just gonna stay active out on the map here, just constantly ramping up. And this time around, Shannon, it's happening. Sumail is buying BKB's second item.
Wow.
A rare sight here, but a very, very welcome one, in my opinion, if you're an Nigma Galaxy fan, because I think this is the kind of game that Storm can just completely pop off in. With Caudle at his side.
In game 1, and he dominated without it, Cinder.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't Storm.
Okay. So that's the difference.
And I also didn't say he was going to pop. You're just making stuff up. I said none of that in game 1.
Why do you hate Sumail so much? He didn't answer my question.
I'm not going to... I plead the fifth. I'm not going to play into these rumors that you're just starting. What's
true.
this?
That's very Jenkins thing to do.
It's a random thing. It's like, why do you hate so much?
Okay, Noob. Gonna be stealing the shrine. So they end up equalizing the shrines.
That's a very late shrine. 1845?
That's true. That is Searing Chains on him. Rebound, not there in time. And the global Ghost gonna pound into Insania. That's an easy kill.
Oh no, Liquid, this is real bad.
And the rebound's gonna hit though. Sumail's getting super low. Disposes there, and Saberlight gets the kill. A little bit too cocky now from Sumail.
Okay, now it's not that bad for Liquid anymore. Now that they got the Storm at Sumail's own
my mistake, he didn't use
initiative. Yeah, he has it now.
Could have sworn he did.
You just went temporarily deaf. But yeah, if that move fails completely for Liquid, if they don't end up killing the Storm in the end, it's such a big overextension for so little. But at the very least, with the Storm kill, it feels somewhat okay.
Sumail playing a little bit too greedy in that instance. Pretty close to his BKB.
Midk is not having a good one here either. We haven't talked about that too much. He's 2K behind the Sven, and he's not playing Battle Fury.
Storm hammered. He's done.
Send him packing another kill for the side of Nigma Galaxy here. 14-14 the score, but more more gold in the Nigma Galaxy coffers, and obviously there's a bit of inflation due to Doom. But it's a thin silver lining considering this is a really good game for Doom as well. When Noob is having this type of performance on his best hero, you know they're comfortable. 7,000 the lead now. And
looking pretty. And everyone gets out. My goodness. And the shard goes to said Coddle, Mr. GH.
Keep
charges of Solarbind.
Keep in mind that Liquid chose this Monkey King as a response to Doom, and I feel like they've got no bang for their buck here. Like you ran this as a lane counter, and the result at minute 21 is that Monkey King is down 2k against Doom. So you just did not get what you were hoping for. And in addition to that, Mickey has gone for a tempo item build. He has not gone Battle Fury. He's gone Echo into what's now Echo, BKB, and then Deso. His damage output is pretty underwhelming for the time being. So that did just not work for Liquid here. It's the ultimate conclusion at this point. And now I think you're kind of playing a little bit of the waiting game, which is scary when the enemy team has so much explosive damage and this amount of scaling.
Trying to bait a fight here, potentially. Some decent stacks for Nisha. Looks like they'll get it cleanly if they want. Yeah, NGX not going to really bother with that at the moment.
Is this almost BKB on Noob? Am I saying this right?
Yep.
He's just missing 300. He's a tough one for them to deal with. Like, they have this heavy single target damage between Marcy and Monkey King when Monkey King gets another item. But until then, I feel like Noob is pretty safe to just BKB blink in and just go on literally anything he wants. I think he can just break the fight. And going on Marcy, dooming Marcy is extremely impactful. So I think that's the dream start for a fight for Nigma Galaxy, is that Doom finds Marcy and then everybody else just plays around that. Dooming Emperor, of course, is also great. Speaking of,
Ghost.
Nisha's in there.
Strike as well. Noob trying to tank a little bit of this. Pops to BKB. Who has the Doom available? Soulbind onto 2. Looking for, he could get the double Doom if he wants to do so. Beautifully done, but Sumail gets insta-gibbed. Insania with the global silence, setting it all up. As BKB from Saberlight, okay. Didn't want to pursue any further, it seems, and the Doom will be shrugged off by Mickey in the end.
Wait, how did they kill Sumail? Did he jump in with BKB on and then get globaled? Did they just time it perfectly? Yes. Okay. No. Wait, he's rooted first, right?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to think, like...
Go ahead and dissect it.
So the kill recap doesn't show when he BKB'd, right? Because it only shows offensive abilities?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, it's hard to tell without a replay then, but... Either way, it's definitely the global silence that makes that moment so crucial for Insania to have the perfect timing there.
It was a double Doom, too.
Okay, we're going to see the replay here. So Sumail, rooted.
BKB, global.
Yeah, okay, just really nicely timed there. It's so important. If Insania is half a second slower, they lose that fight, I think. Clutch.
Indeed. As Omar and company, they're going to find a snapfire, but Mickey with a nice bounce strike onto 2. Soulbind applied, though. And Omar going to try to shrug this off himself, but eventually will be found by the rest of Liquid.
Okay, Liquid bounce back.
Yeah, that was a very big engagement. Smell. Arcane Rune, though. As a Doom is found in the meantime. Noob has to pop BKB in retreat. Liquid forcing out a lot from NGX. Showing a lot of life all of a sudden.
Into the pit.
What do you think of this late Deso choice from Mickey?
I think it's decent. You're playing with Marcy and Emperor Slate, so there's some added value for teammates in playing minus armor.
Looks like they're not going to fully commit.
Yeah, they can't make it. They could have actually made it, but they weren't sure how close Nigma Galaxy were. So now Roche is going to go for a walk. That's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah. And NGX are ahead of the curve. They can wrap around.
Oh, this could get so awkward. They don't have Unleash now. Marcy is only half the hero at this point.
Oh, yeah. Warcry Try to buy some distance. Saberlight, they're going to spot him. Noob, hoof stomp, actually starts things out. He's in a lot of trouble. He'll be able to pop the global silence, though, as Saberlight with a rebound away. Looks like he might be able to survive as a result.
Đây là mình đi chơi trận này.
Yep, double doom comes out with a 4-step onto Sumail. Looks like he's going to survive.
Thì phải cùng ra nữa.
They have any follow-up? Ghost finally comes in with a storm hammer onto one. Saberlight are super low on HP. They try to exit now.
Số bị làm gì? Còn một số
Big zip from Sumail wants to finish the job. Boundless strike destroys him, though. And Nisha gets credit for that one. So another flop by Sumail. My goodness.
Are they actually gonna finish the Roche now? Can they? It's half HP. I don't think they can kill it yet. With the uncertainty about Nigma Galaxy's whereabouts, this is not easy to do, but damn, Sumail, that is uncharacteristic. He's 6 and 5 now. He had such a good start, and all of it down the drain. Maybe BKB is just cursed for this guy.
He's not used to buying it. Yeah? What can he do?
Liquid with a big recovery.
Oh, yeah.
This, oh my god, the Doom just ended, so he could stick as well and get off the Boundless. Yeah. That fight was really close multiple times over. A lot of heads-up plays. If they could somehow have got a little more damage out of Ghost, like one more swing, they might have killed 2 or 3 heroes and taken Roche themselves. That's what we're talking here.
Yeah, that could have been game-defining for sure. Instead, Liquid with the Aegis, 4.5 minutes on Nisha.
He's going to go Linken's again, similar to his previous game, and obviously makes a lot of sense against Doom. Also against Storm, it can be quite nice.
Show himself in lane. Oh, but they find a Grimstroke instead. Omar getting healed up a decent amount thanks to GH. The stomp comes out as well. Another, take off that silence immediately as Noob finds Saberlight, and that is another death for the offlaner of NGX. Second time somebody's just run into a solo Marcy and died.
Yep.
As a core.
Don't do that.
And GH now in the area of Mickey. Boundless strike to start things out. Solar Bind is applied to him though. Being a lot more annoying. And all of a sudden, we're close to an even game now.
Yeah, Nigma Galaxy bled out a bit over the last few minutes. Just a couple of situations where they overplayed their hand a little bit and then on top getting picked off in between. So Liquid are starting to have a clearer path now to structure fights now that they have the Deso on the Monkey King, and Nisha is continuing to improve his situation. I think his Linken's is actually arriving now. Yep, sure is. This Ember is going to become a potentially big problem.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. If you give him that time.
Almost walked into some mail there. Very close. GH.
Yeah, this time probably not going to be getting away. Mickey could really use that shard at some point. Feels like he's been a couple of instances now.
Yeah, he could buy it now. He has the gold, but I just think you have to invest into more stats. Shard doesn't really help you much when you're doomed anyway.
True. Which now is more likely that Nisha has the Linken's.
Yeah, they've been dooming Monkey King pretty consistently with Soulbind anyway, so the last 2 or 3 fights. I think getting stats up on Monkey, or maybe even Linken's, would be nice, which, I mean, that's also stats. And it is indeed what is in his quick buy. Was that a misclick, or did he see anyone? Oh, they think they can get Doom, but he juked them out by running in a straight line. Next level plays from Noob.
That's right.
Now he's being spotted on a ward, though.
Yep,
Saberlight could try again.
Yeah, TP support's coming, but
not happening.
Yeah, blink TP. Looks like he's good to go. Another kind of late Wisdom Shrine, 2 minutes after.
Yep.
And Ghost getting pretty close to Daedalus. I feel like we haven't, even though he's the top net worth in the game, haven't seen a ton of Ghost.
No.
I feel like once they're able, I mean, again, NGX on paper, like this lineup, if they can take a fight where they're the aggressors, I feel like they have such a good shot still in this game.
For
the
sure.
Global Silence is just such a big counter to all of this.
Yeah, the global has been a thorn in Sumail's side primarily. But obviously, it's an ability you largely itemize your way out of over time as well. Insania is not having a good enough game that the refresher is coming in the near future. He is queuing it up. This is pretty standard silencer plays to get one utility item and then go refresher next. But he only has 1,000 gold, so plenty of time to go before he gets there.
He got greedy neutral, though, Cinderin.
Yep.
Kazu would really be ashamed of us. We didn't mention that. He likes to mention it 3 to 4 times per game.
Greedy?
Yeah, the greed. Yep.
Well, he is barely killing creeps now, so...
that is one issue.
He can't really kill them. Okay.
Only a minute left on this Aegis. I mean, from Liquid's side, what's their game plan? Like, how do you, what did you want to get out of this Aegis? Did they get enough?
Yeah, I think the main thing was to take it away. I don't think you're in a commanding enough position where you can just like try to force anything with it, like a tower or, I guess there's nothing else to really force, right? Tormentor, I believe, just respawned recently, if I'm not mistaken. Well, wait, was it? Never? Yeah, they did take it early on Nigma Galaxy, so I guess maybe you could have gone for the Torm with this. But tier 2 instead now is all right, now that it's set up. Not really committed for this. It's just a natural progression of the wave push, and Nisha will do it on his own with a little bit of shrapnel help. Or shredder, I should say.
Well, he's going to spot a TP. Going to go on the aggressive to go for Insania, but now will zip completely out of the way.
Trying to poke and prod bait some response. He did get one out of Monkey King. And perhaps with that, that should open up bottom and mid a bit for the side of Nigma Galaxy. You're seeing the line drawn here as well from Omar. Just drawing push out bot, but it's not fully safe just yet. The Silent Assassin is here.
Disposed with the help of his trusty Centaur Conqueror Permastun. My God, that is filthy.
So
dumb. Yeah, it really is such a crazy item for this hero, isn't it?
It's obscene.
The whole reason Rebound is balanced is because you don't always have a unit next to you, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's changed with Marcy. Which just begs the question again, how did this take so long, this tech to figure it out? It's been like, had years to figure this out.
Well, it's a compounding of multiple factors, right? The Dominator got buffed. Other heroes got nerfed. Marcy got buffed on other abilities. It's just, at some point, heroes reach critical mass, and it can be kind of hard to predict when that is. But I would definitely argue that Marcy is there right now. Even game now on gold.
Oh, yeah.
But the gold distribution is what's interesting here. So Sven is ahead of everybody else, but the next 3 are Liquid heroes with a decent gap now. And then GH ahead of the enemy supports. I think I would kind of like to see GH go Ags here for a couple reasons. First of all, the type of fights that we've seen so far are pretty long. So dropping the Ignis Fastest in the middle of the fight is nice, but in addition, you can cut Monkey King out of trees with it, which gives it some added benefit in this game. And considering that a big part of the enemy team's damage is Monkey King and Marcy, who are very much going to stack on top of each other in fights in order to assassinate heroes, you might get some pretty good value out of it. I suppose the downside is that Marcy can break it pretty quickly with Unleash, but if you're even misdirecting her in the fight to do that a little bit, I think that's already quite valuable. So far, he's queuing up Greaves. I can't say I love that.
The Dispel for the Silence.
Yeah.
I mean, it did feel like they needed a Lotus or something this game.
Yeah, the question is if it's GH's responsibility to get the Dispel versus Omar. I think Omar...
Entering the farm for Omar right now.
True. Doom could also have bought Lotus instead of Shiva's, I would argue.
Yeah, he can sell it.
True. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Greaves.
Case shown.
I think if you want to go the Greaves route, then you should go Lotus instead on Caudle, I guess, because then you can also use it on a teammate instead.
Yeah.
If there's a key moment where Sumail gets silenced and you can Lotus him, it could just change the entire game.
True.
For example.
Oh, Nisha. He's going to pop the smoke. He's invisible. Saberlight, they think it's only just the Doom right now. There's the zip from Sumail. Inkswell. He's actually going to get Boundless Strike. Oh my goodness. Boognick get the global silence as well. No. That is so unlucky for Sumail. Down for a full minute. And Ghost has to pop the BKB and retreat. Question is, will everybody else get out? Nisha looking to push the envelope, trying to force a buyback that is not to come for Sumail. Soulbind used with nothing after the fact.
I mean, not that it ever really is the time, but that is just not the time to play a worst game of the tournament, is it? Like, Sumail just multiple times over having these moments where things just go wrong. And again, credit to Insania with a good global, but at this point, you have to begin. You must have got used to it, right? Like, this has happened 3 times in a row now in this game. So you have to adjust your playstyle around it and approach the fights differently. I think instead of Sumail initiating in the fashion that he is, send Doom in the front, accept that you don't get a double Doom, and maybe just start something. And then have a Sven follow up, and Sumail has to be a little bit more patient. Perhaps that would be one way to do it. But at the very least, the way Nigma Galaxy are doing it right now is just punishing them over and over and over again.
I mean, that's a good point. It feels like they are trying to get this double Doom when, in actuality, I don't know if it's 100% necessary to win to get that, right? It's nice.
Yeah. And it's also not that reliable. That's the other thing, because you need specific conditions to be met first.
Right, they have 2 Lincolns, so it's going to be hard to.
It's getting harder and harder anyway, yeah.
Well, that one hurt NGX quite a bit. Liquid now the 4K lead. Roche will be up relatively shortly. It looks like a full timer, actually. Another minute.
Yeah, pretty much maximum time, you're right.
Wait, is Boxy going for Ags?